Hi, I'm Nancy France-Vaz. Welcome to my studio, Unframed, Episode 3, every other Friday. Today I'm going to be covering my brush set and which type of Rosemary brushes I use. So I have two sets with Rosemary, the basic set and the professional set. I am sold out of that one right now, but that one has 18 brushes, a variety of everything. And if you're like me, portrait or figure, you kind of have to know how to paint a lot of things. So, pet portraits, still life, landscape. These brushes are good for all different genres. The basic set has 11 brushes, and I believe it's 125 or 130 for this set. The other one I think is 185. But it's a good start-off set, and you have the Ivory Collection, Series 81, which is sable, domed filbert. I absolutely love that brush. You have the pointed round Ivory filbert. You have an evergreen. You have the Eclipse comber is in here. You have the Eclipse long flat as well. And a couple of sable Series 99 included in here as well, one or two of those. So let's go into what I use when I'm painting. I use a brush holder to keep all my brushes from small, medium, and large that I made by myself. It's made of wood and it has holes in it, and that's what I usually use. I line up my brushes for details, face, and then the back would be backgrounds and coats and hair and trees, whatever I need that's really, really big. I have a couple more brushes that I use, like the sword liners, which are great for hair, which I'll do a little bit of a demo on. And today I am going to be doing a demo on a painting that I started the other day of my friend Rob's daughter, who is an NHS worker in a senior assisted living home where 9 patients died. So to be part of @Tom Croft Artist Instagram handle, part of his online show, I volunteered to do a couple of COVID patients. We only had to do one, but I wanted to do a few. One lady's from Edinburgh. This is Rob Gregoretti's daughter, Carol. It's his only daughter, and he's very worried, and I always wanted to paint her. So he sent me a photo, and I can't have the model. Working from the photo, it's, front lighting. I have to do the best I can, come up with a composition. These will be 8 by 10. So this was the block-in that I did the other day. Just keeping it really loose in the background. Started on a panel that was just slightly toned, but started to block in the trees with the Eclipse flats. So these are really great brushes. They're not long, they're short flats. And this one's a comber. And there's a difference between the two. The combers have like a little bit of a rake on the end, and they're good for trees, hair, fur, and all of that. The flats leave a sharp edge. So if I wanted to paint parts of the building where, I wanted to get a nice crisp edge, I'm going to go into a short flat. This is number 5. Here's what I use to start in the background, these flats and some combers. So I use the short flat right here, and if I go across just like that, it just leaves a really nice edge. Now if I press hard, it will leave a bit of a streak. I kind of like that, so I left that in there. Let's go in now with part of the white of the building, which would be right here. And this has a lot of blocks in it. Like if I want to go smaller block of these white little, I don't know if they're windows or what. This is a shot of her in Mallorca, Spain, the end of the day. And I guess, I don't know what kind of building this is. It looks like it's a condo building. Sometimes they have these windows like this. And if you could see, I can make an edge there, come back in with this and let it fade out on the end there. Let's go in and do another section here. So it leaves a nice crisp edge, as you can see. The buildings in the background, the same thing. Like some of these that are really lit with cad lemon and cad orange back here. Let's say this one in particular is really lit because the sun is coming this way. And as it turns, it gets cooler. I'm going to go in with this dioxazine. And I just turn just with one brush. Sometimes I use the same brush. I just wipe it off. Let's say like this building here has more of a blue. So I'm using cobalt blue and King's Blue Deep mixed together. And on the other side of the brush, I'm going to have the light. Right above that, I have like this little Terra Rosa color. I don't want to make it too dark. Hopefully I won't. I think that's going to be too dark, though. I could always tell as soon as I put the brush up. I don't know why, but I can. Right. Maybe not. Let's see. See, and if you mix the paint, make sure the brush is flat like that. It holds a really sharp edge. And I'm using the side of the brush. It turns around into the light. It's gonna get lighter. Okay. That was a little too much of a dark value transition. Okay, so that's how I got those buildings. Now those aren't done like for windows like that are Romanesque. I use the short filbert here in different sizes. This one is a size 4, and I'll use it, let's say, for nostrils in a face. Quite convenient to do that. There's one brush that's in my collection that I really like. And it's a filbert, but it's a longer filbert, almost like an eggbert. And a lot of the trees I did with that. So going in here, I like to keep the landscape loose to start, and I just block shapes in. So with this brush, like down here, it gets darker. I can do that. And the same on this side here. There's this really cool purpley color, which complements her hair. Just a coinkydink, I call it. I don't want to make it too dark. I'm leaving this unfinished, and I'm not quite sure yet. I like the abstraction in the background. I do have to go in. Like I said, it's only a block in. So let's move into the face right now, so you know how I handle the buildings. For the face, I usually start a block in with these ivory filbert, number 4, number 6, number 2. I like to go bigger. And then I come in with a number 6 or number 8 eclipse filbert, and they're different. These really hold their shape. These could get frayed after you scrub too much. Just when you wash them out, take a thread, tie them together, and you should be okay. So let's say for the top of the head here where it's warm, coming out of the hairline, I am going to put that plane in. All right. Also, there's a turn coming out of the shadow here, a light kind of halftone next to the shadow. And that comes, the light is coming this way, so it's like a cast shadow almost onto her face. And I just went in with the halftone right over where the shadow was. And I'm going to add a little red in there because it does get quite red in here. Usually for shadows on the side of the face, I'm going to come in with an Eclipse long flat. Why do I use flats? Like when I want a chiseled shape, I'll come in with a flat like that. And right in here in the pocket has this kind of cool tone that then gets lighter. And Carol has like a bronzy colored skin, so with that in mind, you have to think, you know, if she's tan, what color skin does she have, you know, when she's sunlit? It's a lot to think about, I know, but all right. I'm going to come in with another. Let's go in with the evergreen. And get that transition. So the evergreen's going to hold my edge, but notice it's really putting paint on. Well, let me go back in now and kind of pull this across the form of the oblique plane. It's the zygomatic there, so you know it's an up plane up here, but then it turns under, so you have to like keep that in mind. And coming out of here, and while I'm here, I'm going to do this. I don't just work one area. Like if I see something for it to balance, I'll work on all of it. Zygomatic on the other side, coming out of a shadow. So it's a side plane of the face, but it starts to move into the light here. It's an up plane. It's going to get more neutral actually here. So I'm going to go in. Same brush, by the way, I wiped it off. And I'm just going to pop in. Sometimes I'll stipple it in to get a broken color effect. I'm going to use another brush now for the front plane of the face. Go. Okay, so that's the ivory filbert, the evergreen number 4, and the long flat. Last but not least is the hair. So I use sword liners, but I block it in using the Eclipse combers. I absolutely love these brushes. So, and a series 99 and a 0. So let's do a couple of those darks in there. So I map it in using a comber like this. It's a little red in here, so I'm going to go ahead and add that She wants me to make her hair curly, so I'm not going to do too much on this, but some people had asked how I paint hair. There's a painting called Another Time, Another Place. You could go to my Instagram. It's the girl with the blonde hair that looks like she's from Woodstock, and actually that's the storyline to that, wishing that I was in another time and place with everything that's going on. Okay, so I start with that, and then, you know, sometimes I'll go in with a lighter comber to get the big pass of these passages in the right value. And let's say right here, we're gonna need that. And see what it does, it's like a comb. It's a lighter value, all right. And I can then take advantage of my sword liner for the wisps. And I'm not going to do too much up here, but you can see with this brush, if I turn it on its side and just use the tip, I can get those wispy sort of things happening. Like say down here, this will be a really good statement right here. And if it gets uncontrollable, you could always use your finger and wipe it out. I do that a lot. And down here. The planes of the face. In the next episode, how I think of the face as sculptural and what flesh tones I mix for different skin types. So I will be doing another demo of a portrait and how I block it in. And from there, I can then go into the features. So you see how I paint features and using these brushes. If you like this video, please give a comment, leave a like, and subscribe to my channel. It's Unframed on Friday, 2 Fridays a month. So see you next time, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace out.